Hey, what is up, everyone? It is Happy, Hippie, and Free here. I do have more tips and suggestions of things that have helped me through my decluttering process. I thought I'd bring you guys outside. It's just rained and it's kind of peaceful out here, so this is a place where I would want to go before I declutter. I feel so at peace here. So let's get moving with the tips. These may or may not work for you. I hope they do. But just know that I'm on my own journey, as you should be as well. And every single person should have a blueprint of their own decluttering process or life process or whatever. It should be unique to your lifestyle and your mind and the feelings that you want to have or gain. And you know, it may be different for everybody. So I'm gonna throw these at you and see what you can find. If you can pick and choose from some of these things, great. And if you have any additional things or something that kind of doesn't work for you, can you please let me know? And it kind of gives me, it gets me thinking on certain things, like what I should be doing here. And also other people read these comments, so I'm sure it will help them in some type of way also. Number one, it did not take you overnight to accumulate all of the things in your house, in your car, in your mind, in your friendships, and your regrets. I mean, the list can go on and on. Just know to be patient with yourself and love yourself through this, because all of this stuff was accumulated over a certain period of time. You're not going to get rid of it overnight. Even if you got rid of all of your stuff, still the mental clutter and, you know, just the friendships, the regrets, all of that stuff will still be there and you'll still be miserable. So it's really important for me to kind of deal with it all, little bit by little bit. Number two, I like to go by feeling. What am I feeling? And give myself a few days to process this. Usually I'll look around and I'll see something that I haven't used in a while. I'm like, well, why haven't I used that? Like, what is the reasoning behind that? Is it something that's like a seasonal item, or is it something that, you know, I used a while ago and I just no longer use now? Go by that feeling. Your gut instinct will tell you. It'll let you know what to do. It'll guide you in the right direction. Number three, how often do you guys do laundry? I know for me, it is about maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So in between those times, how many things do I need to kind of improvise between those things that I use? Like, so if, let's just say I need 7 pairs of underwear. That'll get me through, and I know I'll have some backup. That's a comfortable amount. If something should happen and somebody gets sick, or I need to leave or go on vacation, or whatever the case may be, where I'm not able to do my laundry near as much as I would on my regular routine basis, I would still be covered. I wouldn't be cutting myself short or spreading myself too thin, worried about, you know, I only have 4 pairs of underwear, but, you know, I need to make sure I wash them every 3 days, or whatever the case may be, so you always have clean underwear. I don't like to strap myself that thin. It would be nice to be able to have less items, but for my comfort level, that's what I usually go for, is, you know, my time's valuable. Do I really want to waste it all on making sure I'm doing that laundry so I can have less amount of clothes, but be worried about having fresh underwear all the time? Like, number 4, do not guilt declutter. I have done this. The first time I did this, I guilt decluttered. I decluttered things that I thought I should be getting rid of because of, you know, my mindset. Like, I wasn't allowing my heart to tell me what to do. My feeling, my gut feeling. I was allowing this guy to work a little bit too much for me. And therefore, I put some guilt on myself as to, like, I have too many of these things. Like, why am I keeping all of these things? It is what it is. If you're not ready to get rid of it, then don't get rid of it. Don't pressure yourself. Don't peer pressure yourself to fit into some kind of group. Do you and listen to yourself, because you're going to know yourself better than anybody else. I promise you that. Number 5. This is a hard one, because I can see it kind of going both ways. But it's to remember that I control my items. My items don't control me. And sometimes that can be the other way around. I need to utilize my items. I need to find joy in my items. I don't need to have an abundance of things to make myself happy. I need to have things that are going to make my life easier and feel a certain type of way. It's not going to be that fancy car. For some people it might be, but for me it's not. I like my car. It's an older car and it treats me well, and I feel so happy when I'm driving it. It's very important that I don't compare myself to others and what they have, but what my lifestyle is, what makes me truly, genuinely happy, and knowing the things that I use, not what somebody else says that I need to use. That's very important. 6. The mental clutter. This has got to be one of the harder things that I am still having a hard time with. It's making amends to those people, places, or things that you can. You know, is it something you're holding on to that's not allowing you to move forward in your life, to live a happier life? If it is, then it's a good time to figure out how to let it go, or face that person, place, or thing, and, you know, this was my part in it, I'm sorry, I know it made you feel this way, or I think it made you feel this way, and I know that I had a part in that, and for that I'm sorry. Or, you know, things on the other foot, like things that have been wronged by you. That's the part where I'm struggling with. Things that have been done to me from other people. It's easy to just kind of mask it up and pretend like, you know, you're okay. But deep-rooted issues are deep-rooted issues. They're not going to go away overnight, or probably in a week or a month. You know, and for this, I journal, I meditate, I talk to people, and I go out in nature and just think about things. And I try to really put the shoe on the other foot and see, you know, where they may have been coming from in that situation, and just try to make peace with that. If I'm not ready, then I'm not ready. But I just know that if I don't move forward with that, it's going to hold me back in life and not allow me to be as happy as I possibly could be. Number 7, what are your triggers? What are things that keep you on track, on the right path to doing things? This may not be an easy one to figure out, but in time it'll kind of go in place. You'll see where you're kind of messing up and where you're not, knowing what goals you've set for yourself. So that one's kind of a learned trade, like a self-taught trade of the mind and body and soul, but it's good to really pay attention to what your body's telling you, and just slow down in this busy world for a little bit, and don't be trying to move as fast-paced as most people, because I feel like that's where a lot of people make their mistakes. 8, be picky about the people, places, and things in your life. Learn to say no when you really do not want to do something. If you get invited to, you know, a company picnic and you're just not feeling it, then just learn to say no. You guys don't owe anybody any kind of explanation. Remember that other people have got things going on in their life, and if they want to, like, try to talk you into it or degrade you because you're not doing things their way, that's their issue to deal with, not yours. If you don't feel like your time would be valued there, like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go. Learning to say no, especially for the people pleasers out there, is very hard. You know, my mom's always one to try to say, you know, here's some extra stuff, you know, why don't you take it with you? You know, our great-grandmother on Chase's side will say, you know, here's some extra food, like we're going to run out of food or something like that. So, you know, where do you draw the line? What are things that, you know, you politely want to say no to, but you feel like it's being rude? Or things that you just genuinely want to say no to, but you're scared of what that person's going to say. You have to be picky with the people that you bring into your life, and picky with the people that you want to stay in your life. It's very important to kind of declutter and minimize friendships as well as relationships if they're no longer serving a purpose for you. A lot of people hold on to relationships just because it's the same. You know, there's no change. And with change, there's fear. And with fear, there's anxiety. And with anxiety, there is you talking yourself out of it. I know that from personal experience. Saying no is still hard for me, but it is something that I've come a long way on. And I have my future self to thank you to my past self for doing that. Number 9. So just know that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get in a minimalism rut. It's just bound to happen. You know, you get in this decluttering thing, and all of a sudden in the beginning you're gung-ho, you're so excited, and you get this feeling that goes along with it. So it's almost like an addiction or like an OCD moment. You just want to keep getting rid of things and more things and things and things. And, you know, I understand how addicting that can be. Just know, though, there is going to be a time where you slow down or you get unmotivated. So really take your time to think about where you want to be and what things can you do to keep yourself out of a rut. For me, it's watching other people, or it's forcing myself to find one item in the house, the whole house, that I can get rid of that day, and justify it to myself, like walk through the process as to why I'm getting rid of this item, why it no longer serves a purpose for me. That seems to kind of help. Habits are not created overnight. I think if they say it takes like 8 weeks for a whole habit to be created. Therefore, these things, if you just kind of do it and then you think you're done, you're not going to create the habit, and then you're going to end up where you first started, unhappy with a lot of things and an emptier bank account. And number 10, do remember the feeling that you get from minimalizing or decluttering your mind, your spirit, your body. Just know how far you've gotten on this journey and don't beat yourself up for it. There is such a great feeling that comes with this. So try to hold on to that feeling as long as you can. Be excited, you know, journal if you want to. Do whatever it is that's going to keep you excited and motivated to do this thing. And remember the benefits that you have reaped throughout your process of when you first started. Or if this is your first day, like, what are the benefits that you think you're going to have coming out of this? Write them down. Another thing that I think will help, you know, if you're in a process, whenever you're feeling at peace, maybe go out in nature if, you know, time allows, and spend time with yourself, away from the distractions or where you will be distracted. Bring that pen and paper with you, and write down all of your life goals that you want, or things that you just want to work on this year. One thing for me is that I want to have a better budget. I am one that will go a long time saving money, and then all of a sudden I'll go on this spending spree of things, you know, out to eat, things, even experiences, so you have to be careful with those as well. You know, it's so much easier to spend the money than it is to make the money. I can spend money like it's nobody's business, but making money, it takes time, dedication, blood, sweat, tears sometimes. Another thing that I have is I want to spend more time with my dogs, my son, and I want to eat healthier food. I want to meditate more. I want to work out more. And I don't want to put myself like on too much pressure of this, but I did create a vision board that every morning when I'm brushing my teeth, it has a little timer on it. Every morning when I'm brushing my teeth, I pick one thing on this vision board and I focus on it and I try to put it in action. Just one thing for that day and see if I can have a feeling or see if I can follow through with it. See if it's something that I'm really wanting to work towards or if it's something that maybe I didn't really want in the first place. So these are my tips, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I appreciate you watching. I hope that you found peace today. And please always remember that if you're not feeling loved, you are very much loved by me. I hope your day, your night, your evening, whatever, is gonna go great, and that you have a good night's sleep tonight. I'll talk to you later.